I'm Jonathan Friendly. I'm the chairman of the board of the Friendly Foundation. I'm the second son of Alfred Friendly, who was the managing editor of the Washington Post and then went on to win a Pulitzer 50 years ago for his coverage of the Six-Day War. That's all old news to all of you. But I thought I wanted to say thank you for coming out tonight to honor my father's memory, but also to think about the future. And it's my special privilege to introduce to you tonight a man who's been wonderful to our program in the last year. Actually, a man and his wife. I thought earlier that I should introduce Frank Islam as Debbie Dreisman's husband, because that's the reality. I was going to call an audible and make Debbie speak, because I think her commitment to this program is as great as Frank's. Frank has been, as I think most of you know, a very successful businessman, entrepreneur. But more important to us is that he has been a champion of free speech, a champion of journalism, and devoted to, and I think excited by what we are trying to do. And Frank, if you would, share some thoughts with us about what it is that you think is important about us and the world. Frank Islam.
So when President Kennedy went to Paris, I believe, he said, "My name is Jack Kennedy. I'm the husband of Jackie Kennedy." So I am husband of Debbie Dreisman. That's my wife over there. What a fabulous night, and good evening to all of you, and thank you for all coming. Jonathan, thank you very much for your kind introduction. I should have you everywhere for my introduction. You do a really good job, and you inspire all of us to do well, but do good. So it is indeed an honor for Debbie and me to be here tonight and to support Alfred Friendly Press Partners. We're delighted to join you for this special evening and to being your partners in the future on this journey forward. We're especially proud of Smita Rajan, who's the first Frank Islam and Debbie Dreisman Fellowship with the Friendly program. Smita is a fearless fighter. I know she's looking at me, but I know she's good. Smita is a fearless fighter, a foe of the power structure, and a friend to the disadvantaged. She's an assistant editor with DNA, Divya Bhaskar in Gujarat, India. In her current position, she leads a team of 10 journalists. Smita focuses on the environment. She has reported stories not normally covered by the media, including air pollution, swine flu outbreak, poaching, line translocation, and the plight of the Dalits, the lowest in the Hindu caste system. When we reviewed her application, we concluded that Smita has strong leadership qualities and the capability to be a journalistic change agent. Smita, can you stand up? Let's give her a big round of applause. Thank you. And she, to my conversation, this is off the script here, she said she learned a lot about the journalism in the United States. And I hope you take this with you to India, because India, there are two things we have in common with India. India is as you all know, is the largest democracy in the world. And the United States is the oldest democracy in the world. Those two values that binds us together as an Indian American in the United States and India. So Debbie and I decided to join Alfred Friendly Press Partners in supporting this fellowship for a simple reason. In a free society, the free press matters. It really matters. The free press has been a cornerstone of American democracy. Our Constitution enshrines freedom of press. It is also an essential contributor to the American belief in a government confined by a system of checks and balances. Freedom of press requires constant vigilance and care. It is a precious gift given to us by the founders in the Constitution. The United States of America remains a vibrant democracy in large part because of the resilience of its questioning press. Thomas Jefferson said this about press freedom, and I quote, "Were it left to me to decide whether we should have a government without newspapers, a newspaper without a government, I should say I would not hesitate a moment to prefer the latter." End of quotation. You might have missed it, but as you enter the National Press Club, there's another quote that is engraved. They are words from Walter Williams. He was the founder of the Missouri School of Journalism, the world's oldest journalism school. Walter Williams' quote is, and I believe in the profession of journalism, I believe the suppression of the news for any consideration other than welfare of society is indefensible. The Friendly program is home at the University of Missouri. It is where the fellows receive their training before joining newsroom across the United States. So the legacy of all this thinking is with us tonight, right now, in this room. You see, when Al Friendly became editor of the Washington Post, it was not the great newspaper we know it as today. In fact, Katharine Graham wrote in her autobiography that it had fallen on hard times. Throughout Graham's book, she references the energy and drive of Friendly push to push for the excellence in reporting. Thank you. To push for excellence in reporting, especially coverage of the Cuban Missile Crisis. 50 years ago today, on this very night, Al was hard at work covering the after effects of the 1967 Arab-Israeli war. It was this coverage that won Al the Pulitzer Prize for international reporting, which was the Washington Post's first Pulitzer Prize in this category. It truly was a shining moment for press freedom. Thanks to your father. A few years later, in 1975, a new reporter walked into the Post newsroom. Her name, Karen D. Young. Where is Karen? Karen D. Young. The Washington Post was fresh off its Watergate coverage, a time when the press was truly tested. And here we are, 42 years later, and Karen's work is continuing to expose the reality of the current administration. It does not like it. In fact, officials today refer to the truth as fake news. But because of Karen, we know how the National Security Council is operating and how our government is dealing with Russia, Syria, and Iran. What I hope you see is here a line from Jefferson to Walter Williams, to Al Friendly, to Karen D. Young, and to all the Friendly Fellows we are celebrating tonight. We have come tonight to praise the free press, not to bury it. There are others who want to do the opposite. And I say to all the journalists, please do not stop asking the hard questions and writing the tough stories. We need you now more than ever in every part of the world. The overriding responsibility of the media is to separate facts from fiction and is to hold government and leaders, including the President of the United States, to the same standards. So to further explore those ideas, I'd like to turn it over to Tim Carrington, a former journalist with the Wall Street Journal and a friendly director, to ask questions of Ms. Karen D. Young. Tim, the floor is yours.